So no, I want to pick your thoughts on a very crucial thing. There is a thought which says, be yourself. Come on, come on. An organization has a religion. This is the way we are. There's a Microsoft way, there's a McKinsey way. There's a Narayana Hrudalaya way, there's a Mother Teresa way. There is a profile, a pattern, a stereotype which define organizations. In fact, it's even varying industry-wise. A pharma industry versus an airline industry versus an IT industry versus a manufacturing industry. In the maze of this, how then, Sonu, can one be himself when there is an unwritten but a scripted code of modicum and behavior?
Sure. I think somewhere still the common denominator for us in terms of what would be the engagement mantra for us.
Okay.
Somewhere, and that's been our discovery, is that if we allow the employees the freedom to create things, and I borrowed the term from Ravi, feeling significant and important, especially all our check-in agents who face thousands of customers every day. If there is something which we do in the organization which makes them feel important, and that could be done with a very simple thing as raising some empowerment levels, then that employee is a happy employee for us.
Okay.
So, I keep hearing of a lot of offices having fancy infrastructure, jacuzzis, etc. Incidentally, half of our organization staff do not have an office. So all our cabin crew, pilots, they do not have an office. Right. They operate from home, go right to the plane and come back. So how do we keep them engaged? The mantra is the same. It's going beyond the material things. You have to engage them at a very mental level.
Okay.
Our various diagnostics have helped that most of these employees feel engaged when we hear them.
Okay. Okay.
They talk to so many customers every day. They have so many wonderful insights about how customers are behaving and likely to behave in future. As a leadership, I think even if we are engaging them, it's a business strategy.
Right.
Listening to them and actually finding out what could be the future trends.
Okay. Okay.
Essentially, it's all about feeling important.
Okay.
Having a fair deal at the workplace.
Right.
Right stage personal growth. And above all, like I said,
fair, yeah.
Leadership, walking the talk.
Ned, you're in a very volatile business environment. He comes to the world of mortgages. Some of you who belong to that world of finance and mortgages, brutal. 2008 subprime crisis, you know what it is. In that scatter diagram, right, what systemic interventions can you do? Behavioral part is already understood. To have an average level of happiness and bonhomie and camaraderie, if you will, to get facing the sine curve, the crest and trough of a sine curve. Your thoughts?
I just think, there are two words for this. Be fair and be consistent.
Great.
It's a very, very important thing.
And may I add one more thing? Be fair, be consistent, and be transparent about those
Be transparent. Absolutely. I was going to come to that next.
Yeah.
See, you can have an appraisal at the end of 9 months, 12 months, whatever your company does.
Right.
Here you are telling everybody every month, hey, you're doing a good job, good job.
Right.
Come month 9, now it's time for the bell curve, the dreaded bell curve.
Absolutely.
And guess what? All of a sudden you're
in bucket 3.
In bucket 3.
Bet.
Or 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. How do you tell this guy now?
Yeah.
One of the things we did in our company was, we moved to almost, I told the guys, you guys have a one-on-one with your associate. I said, why not make every one-on-one a mini appraisal? So we've given each person, they have a CDP. An associate joins the company. He knows exactly what he's going to do, how much tenure he has to spend each designation.
Right.
And he has a 4 to 5 year plan cut out for him up front.
Okay. Okay.
But the key is, tenure is the easy part.
Right.
You have to meet the criteria. Now you're back to appraisal again now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do it on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Okay. It's a mini appraisal going on every month. Hate to use the word, you're not bullshitting somebody. Yeah. The numbers are as they are. As transparent as possible. That is the only key to a successful appraisal system, in my opinion.
Okay. Ravi, does role modeling play a huge factor in this?
Oh, yes.
Systems apart, the whole role modeling piece.
Role modeling and the impact of that is extraordinary. There's one thing about the appraisal thing that he talked about which triggered a thought which I often talk with members of my team, is that, it's amazing how much power employees give to their manager. If I give a 2%, if I give somebody 25%, he's happy.
Right.
Right? He goes home happy, tells his wife, he's kicked. But the next day he comes to know that his colleague has got 27%.
Okay.
And then it starts creating a problem.
Right.
So our happiness is actually
relative.
Relative. We have given control of our happiness to our managers. And I often tell members of my team, you have given me so much power.
Right.
I can virtually manipulate every one of you the way I want to manipulate you.
Beautiful.
Right? So deep down, I think human beings are fairly insecure.
Right.
Right? We want recognition, we want appreciation, right? And again, coming back to the NGO example, why are people there, or NGOs or faculty? Because they're far more calm about what they're doing, far more sure about what they're doing. Because their happiness is not measured by compensation, measured by those kind of things. So leadership, in terms of transparency, in creating that environment where I don't have the power over you.
Right.
So I don't know how many of you have seen this movie of Manoj Bajpayee. I'm forgetting the name of the movie. He's a police officer there, and his subordinate, he's having a fight with his boss, and the boss says, "Don't forget तुम मेरे नीचे काम करते हो." And he said, "माफ करिए, मैं आपके साथ काम करता हूँ."
So that whole feudalistic thing, giving way to equals. That's right. So now you work for a you work for a tech company, and this is quite a trend now. BPO's tech and a lot of organizations, and in fact, we all run our offices through this guy. You do not have to be in your office. In fact, in some consulting practices, it's a taboo if you're in the office, which means you're not with the client. What is the mean out there? Is there a way out? Is there a standard solution? Or is it horses for courses?
I think one thing we'll have to do is do a lot of unlearning here.
Okay.
Because I think we've all grown in very traditional organizations, and suddenly we have a scene here where, like, we have an IT organization which has presence in different countries. Even today, sometimes who are outside the company, we expect that company to be run very face-to-face.
Okay.
That the leadership should be at the center, and every policy has to be driven from the center to the respective geographies.
Right.
We are undergoing a lot of change there. We are no longer an India-centric company in culture. So here we have some practices where expertise is lying in Philippines, so that becomes a center of excellence.
Okay.
Similarly, there is something happening in Dubai, so for that practice, that center becomes a center of excellence.
Right.
The power is actually diffusing out.
Okay.
And we've realized that's the way to manage a multi-geography office.
Okay.
And not being very traditional and conforming that everything has to be at the center.
Right. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go, and I want to be very respectful with the time. Key thing, therefore, is number one, and I'm not really doing a boring summary here, but key issues are, yes, it's about role modeling. You carry, Stephen Covey calls it, carry the weather within. There's only that much which is outside your control, but your inner emotions is what in your control. And adopt whatever methods, meditation. I mean, that brings to the point, why this wave of spirituality which is happening around? People are done and dusted with religion which divides groups, blah, 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 saying, can I connect with you at a human level, at values level, at ethics value, whether you're a vegetarian and I'm a non-vegetarian or vice versa, whether you're from A religion, from B country, from C community, doesn't matter. Can we just get to a very, I liked what Ned was saying, adult level of transactions in terms of mutual trust and respect? How difficult is that? VUCA or no VUCA, I can be respectful to you. Yep. Training programs can cut down, but I'll be respectful to you. I need to give you feedback, I'll give you go out saying that, you know what, bad feedback, but bloody fair feedback. It was data-centric, no emotions, I feel respected. I got a 3, but I'll stick around because there's integrity here. Integrity in our personal interactions, one-on-one, a candle lighting the other candle is, I think, what the name of the game is, very simply put. So I think we've just got 1 minute, and on this note, I just want to say, you have the IQ. All of us are super smart, crack the cat. Another new wave of emotional intelligence called EQ. But I think it's time we focus on a bit of SQ, which is inner being centeredness. And I'm not speaking about any guru and nothing at all. just being an awesomely centered human being. Because when I do that, if I'm in a decision-making role, and if I'm like this, because of values, skeletons in the cupboard, no chance. I got to be just there. And therefore, I think probably the time is for all of us to introspect after bells, whistles, jacuzzi and everything, systems and everything, just can I be this awesome guy who stands straight and worry not if shadows crooked. And therefore, to end this, with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to quote a Sufi quote. And since I'm in Delhi, I am assuming a lot of you understand Hindi/Punjabi. Enjoy it. If you don't understand, I'll explain it. So here it goes as a summing up of this wonderful session.